everybody, and welcome back to Fujit's Blitz, and we're still looking at the Ace of the Week gallery, week 4 for March 2019, and we're still on the mid-tiers. This time we're looking more at Tier 7, although there is a sneaky Tier 6 in there, and it's this one. It's from Queen Priscilla of 49 Div, who was formerly known as Harrier 77. He's rolling out in the Russian KV2, the Russian Tier 6 Heavy on the EU server. Now, let's be honest, the KV2 needs no introductions. It's a derp machine. Simple fact of life. This thing is basically a KV1 chassis with, what can you say? It's a battleship turret with a derp gun on the top. Now, lots of people have the KV2 nowadays, and it's sort of been outclassed now by the Smasher, which we'll get to later, because there is a Smasher in here somewhere. Well, the KV2, what can you say about it, other than it's formidable, but it's also a pain in the backside, both to drive and to face. Now, to drive it, it's got that incredibly long reload, but you can waste tanks in one shot, and who doesn't like doing that? Facing it, well, you can be wasted in one shot, but if you're in like a VK or an AMX or something along those lines, you can actually circle it to death without too much problem. But you can do this, boom, bang, lovely, eh? And that's over 400 damage with one shot. And okay, now Priscilla has got to hang around and wait for that exhaustingly long reload. But, you know, nobody's focusing Priscilla. And this is brilliant, because now, look at this, the shrieking, bye. I mean, that's one massive roll into quite a formidable tank. I mean, that's unbelievable. And that's why people love and hate the KV2, because that poor shrieking, which is a really good tank, and a tank I absolutely love, has just been wiped out in one shot. And you know, that's the thing about this tank. Oh, and there's another one, and goodbye T-37. I mean, it's another one shot. I mean, he's only fired 3 shots and he's done over 2,000 damage. And this is a thing about the KV2. You can do this. We all know you can do this. So, you know, there's no point me sitting here telling you what is good and what is not so good about the KV2, because everybody knows. All you need to know is it is a shed load of fun. Oh, big engine fire, massive roll into the front of that tank, just shy of 3,000 damage now. Okay, didn't kill him, but look, he's next to nothing, hardly anything left. I mean, it's just, I mean, it's not an OP tank, it's just a pain in the posterior. You know, if you're facing it, boy, it's a pain. If you've got it, then you can do things like this. He's now got his 3rd kill. Just over 2,500 damage. Okay, near as damn it, he's close to 3,000. 3 kills, and he's fired, what, 5 shots? It's just brilliant. And they've all been HE, because what's the point of having anything else in the KV2 other than HE? Okay, he's taken a bit of damage, but that's nothing to write home about. You know, so far he's done a fair trade. Let's be fair. And okay, they haven't got the capped points, and you know, there's only 2 left on the opposing team now. It's that straightforward, and this is why this tank is just a load of fun. Oh, kill number 4. Bit of a low roll. It's just a brilliant tank. And, you know, when you watch the KV2 games, you just giggle your socks off. Well, I know I do. There are some times when you see it get mashed by the opposition, which is also good fun. I mean, I played in the game last night. I had a KV2, and I just circled him to death. There you go, look. Just shy of 3,000 damage. 4 kills. Caps a base. Wow, deserved mastery. 2,893 damage. I mean, that's just brilliant. And I'd like to thank the artist formerly known as Harrier 77, now known as Queen Priscilla of 49 Div, for kindly sharing that replay. Next up, we've got the Scarecrow of the Clam J4F rolling out in the Smasher, the Tier 7 hybrid heavy tank, which is a premium tank, as we all know, again on the EU server. Now this tank has caused a bit of a buzz. Some people think it's mega OP. A lot of people have said it doesn't belong in the game, and some people like me think yes, it is slightly OP, but it's borderline OP. Why do I think it's borderline? Okay, let's get rid of what's OP about it first. And let's get some of the things out of the way. Number one, yes, it's a basic KV2. That's the basic design of this tank. It's a KV2. However, unlike the KV2, it's got a quick reload. It's got better aim, and it's got armor, and it's a little bit faster in that respect. Why do I think it's a KV2? Well, it's the same gun as a KV2. Simple fact. The only difference being is that in a KV2, the Pramo is APCR, and this thing is heat. It's basically OP because it's got armor. I mean, it's tougher, but you can do... Oh, let me look at that. Massive ammo rack. But you can do that in a KV2. You can waste a KV1S just as quickly in a KV2. Let's be honest, guys. Like I said, it's caused a stir. I think, yes, it is OP, but I don't think it's as OP as people are making out. People are really screaming from the rooftops that this thing shouldn't belong in the game for whatever reason. Look, guys, it's a game. You know, if you've got the money and you want to buy a tank like this, then okay, you can be accused of pay to win. But it's a game at the end of the day. You know, it's designed for a bit of fun. I've got this tank. I haven't rolled out it in that much, and it's a barrel of laughs. It's basically, you know, a KV2 on steroids in a tier higher. And he's done, what, 2,000 odd damage here. He's taken 2 kills. And if you compare this to the game that we just saw with Priscilla in the KV2, so far, there ain't much difference, is there? The only difference being that you can be slightly more aggressive in this thing because of that really short reload. I mean, the KV2's 20 seconds, this is 16, and the better aim time. Aside from that, you know, and it's got better armor. It really has got better armor. It's just a revamped KV2, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that. Yes, I know. But anyway, back to the Scarecrow. I bet he's having a whale of a time. But I'm telling you this, guys, he has done nothing in this tank that you can't realistically do in a KV2. I'm telling you. You know, you can one-shot a KV1S in a KV2. He one-shot a KV1S in this. It's the only tank he did one-shot. So, the jury's out as far as I'm concerned. I think this tank's getting a bit of a bad reputation for whatever reason. And, okay, you know, you may not like it. You may think it's just ridiculously stupid. It's a fantasy tank. It's a hybrid nation. But you know what? It puts a smile on my face and it makes me giggle. And that's all that matters. And yeah, okay, you know, I feel guilty going out in it. I'll be honest with you. But then again, I feel guilty. Another kill, 3 kills. But then again, I feel guilty going out in the Keniotsu. Who doesn't? So you know, there's a lot of tanks I feel guilty going out in, and it's a perverse pleasure to be able to roll out in these things and waste other tanks in one go. Look at this, boom. Kill number 4, 3,000 odd damage. He's no different to what he just did in the last game with Priscilla. 3,571 damage, a well-deserved mastery in a tank that is, well, borderline OP in my opinion. I'd like to thank the Scarecrow of kindly sharing his replay because it was really fun to watch the Smasher. Next up, this is Transferit Pauline of the Clan 49. They used to be called WID1. They've all changed their names. He's rolling out in the Tiger P, the German Tier 7 Heavy, on the EU server. Now, I love this tank. It's not... I mean, a lot of people are saying it's not as good as it used to be. To be honest with you, that may be true, but a lot of these tanks, it's not the tank that's at fault. It's the way you play them. Okay, if you look at some of the lower tiers, yes, they've been nerfed to oblivion. But I guarantee you this: you stick a really poor tank in you know, a super duper Unicum's hands, and it is still a formidable tank. So 9 times out of 10, it's not the tank's fault. Although the little Lippard is pretty difficult to play with nowadays, along with the looks. But the Tiger P is still a great tank. And Transferit Pauline is going to show us that. Oh, that's such a name, Transferit Pauline. I mean, it was much easier when you could call him Wid. He's already, you know, gone out, capped a base. He's not had his paint scratched. He's down to just shy of 500 damage. Now he's had his paint scratched. He's started over 500 damage, and he's basically been a bit of a pain. And the thing about the Tiger P is it does have a fantastic armor profile. We know that, bounce. And it does have a really good gun. It's a nice little tank. And if you know how to play with its armor, I mean, look at that, he's gone. If you know how to play with its armor, it's a fun tank to go out in. It's slightly better than the Tiger 1, maybe. They're both similar tanks. Don't forget that this one is basically the Porsche version of the Tiger 1, which is a Henschel Tiger. And it was never used, and the reason, it was a very complex tank in real life because of its suspension systems and its track systems and its engine, and it ended up being the Elephant, the tank destroyer, which obviously you can get in the game as well. But the good thing about it, the angles on this tank, the armor profile is completely different to the Tiger 1, and you can see it there. It's sort of angled away, and it's a nice tank, and it's good fun to roll out in. And Transfer at Pauline has already got 2 kills. He's done less than 1,000 damage, but he's been a pain in the backside. And this is what you're meant to do in these type of tanks. This is a nice Tier 7 heavy, guys. And if you've got it and you haven't rolled out in it for a while, give it another bash, because it is good fun. If you haven't got it and you're grinding your way to it, it's a tank worth having in your garage. It's a very nice tank indeed. But it's quirky. But then again, all tanks are quirky. And as you've seen here, Transfer at Pauline has handled the tank really well. That's kill number 3. Now he's done over 1,500 damage. Yeah, this is the thing. This thing racks it up quicker than you think. Okay, you drop the adrenaline, but it's got a good reload. It's got a great gun, and he's been a real pain in the arse in this game. And you can see that. Look at this. He's just having a whale of a time. I mean, I love this tank. I love this game. I mean, this game just goes to show how effective this Tiger P really is still, regardless of people saying it's no longer the tank it used to be. Now he's up to just shy of 2,000 damage, he's taken 4 kills, and he's still pumping out that red hot AP. And that tank is not long for this game. I mean, look at this. He's wiggling and jiggling and angling away, getting those bounces. I mean, he's bounced a shed load, over 500 bounce, or 615 to be exact. He's now taking kill number 5. And, this is the thing. A lot of people say, oh, it's not the tank it used to be. Really? Well, watch this game. It's still a pretty tough cookie, and it's still a formidable target. And if you know how to play it, it is a dream. Hello, SU-100. Wait for you to fire. Now I'm going to stick my nose over. You're the last tank. Till I get there. Oh, look at the gun depression on this thing. It's bloody awful, and he doesn't get there in time. However, 5 kills, 2,500 damage, bounces 615. I mean, what a fantastic game that was, and a great mastery. I'd like to thank Transfer at Pauline, previously known as Wid1 of the Clan 49 Div, for sharing that replay with us. Last but by no means least is IPoopedMyBigBoyPants of the Clan UAE, rolling out in the SPIC the German Tier 7 light tank on the Asian server. Now, this is a tricky little tank to get to grips with. It's a lovely tank, don't get me wrong, but it's tricky. Now, the reason it's tricky is it's a light tank, and therefore it has light tank armor. It's a good tank, however. It's got a really good gun, and it's got light tank camo, which means you can run around the battlefield, and the camo sort of is the same stationary as it is when you're running around the battlefield. It's got a good turn and mobility. It's got pants depression. I mean, it's a rear turreted tank. I mean, look at it. But it's fast. And, the reason why people struggle in this little thing is because they don't know how to play it, basically. And the thing about these ultralight tanks, of which the SPIC is one, is that, you don't front line it, guys. You spot, and then you use the gun to basically farm the damage. And a lot of people don't get that with these tanks. And they go YOLOing in, and then wonder why they're back in the garage. Because look, every man and his dog's bestest friend, second cousin twice removed, is going to penetrate you, even if they just blow in your general direction, even if they were an asthmatic blowing in your general direction, you're still going to get penetrated. The chances of bouncing in this thing are pretty slim. But look at this gun. I mean, penetration-wise, you're not going to struggle. The reload is really good, the aim time is fantastic, and the gun itself is just a pleasure. Okay, you're not dishing out mega eye rolls, but you're dishing out, in a short order, a lot of harm. And this is why I love this tank. But it's tricky. And IPoopedMyBigBoyPants is playing this tank exactly as you should be playing it. He's not on the front line. He's dished just under 1,000 damage. He's bounced nothing, of course, and he's taken a kill, and a pretty formidable kill at that. It's the Tiger P, the one we've just seen. So he's doing exactly what you should be doing in this tank. Now watch this. This is just fantastic. Oh, hello. There's an SU-100. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to use my mobility and my low profile to just side hug you, and you are in a world of pain. There's nothing you can do. I'm just farming free damage off you, and you can't do anything. And I'm just going to sit here and pump shell after shell into you. And I'm not even going to circle you to death. I'm just going to sort of semi-circle you to death. That's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, just shy of 1,000 damage, his second kill. I mean, it's just great. Oh, hello. Oh, goodbye. That's an IS-3. The only damage he's taken so far is him smashing into that SU-100. I mean, I love this tank. And when you play it like this, this is the way it's meant to be played. And boy, is it good fun. And boy, will you have fun. And boy, will you have a smile on your face and annoy everybody else. Yes, of course you will. And that's why this tank is fantastic. I mean, there you go. T-34, hello. I'm going to go this way a little bit. You've got a long reload, I don't. Oh, I get smacked 400, but you're dead. You're gone. You're out of there. Wow. Over 2,000 damage. Didn't bounce anything, of course. Took 4 kills, and that's a fantastic game. And if you want to know how to play the SPIC, watch that game, because that is how you do it, guys. I'd like to thank IPoopedMyBigBoyPants of the Clan UAE for showing and sharing that replay with us. But then again, I'd like to thank Transferit Pauline, the Scarecrow 2018, and Queen Priscilla for kindly sharing their replays with us to view. All deserve those amazing masteries. Anyway, I've been Fujit. Those have been some amazing games from the guys I've already mentioned. If you've got any decent replays, send them to me. Usual address, fujitsblitz@gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. And until the next time, stay safe out there, have fun on the battlefield, and happy tanking. Because you know what? That's what it's all about. Having fun and being happy.